Good morning, Pat Ziemer here with MagnaWave. I hope you're glad to be with us this morning. We're certainly glad to be here with you. Got some good questions this morning, some good content to discuss and share. So if you have any questions that you'd like to ask me about PEMF, MagnaWave, the upcoming Magna Con event, what's going on in the industry today, I'd be happy to answer any of those questions for you and have a good conversation. Certainly, if you wish, you can call me. If you have something that you'd like to discuss and have a conversation, you can call me at 502-599-9972. Be sure to mute your speakers if you do choose to call in and visit with us live on the program. So before we get started this morning, I'd like to talk a little bit about some things coming up. Just take a minute or two to give some folks a chance to join us. Certainly, Magna Con is coming up in June. It's June 13th, 14th, and 15th this year here in Louisville at the Holiday Inn. It's a great time to come and learn about MagnaWave, learn about PEMF. So if you're a doc out there or you're a practitioner and you want to come and interact with people that are actively in the business, and doctors will be there, chiropractors will be there, massage therapists will be there, practitioners will be there, all kinds of involvement. Education day on Thursday. Wednesday night is a meet and greet where you can come and meet with folks and have some cocktails or whatever you may wish to do. The vendors will be open and available. Thursday is an education day, chock full of education all day with speakers and from small animals, people, and horses. Just great conversations. People say, well, I don't care about the horse stuff, or I don't care about the small animal stuff. Here's the thing. The sweet deal about this is what works on dogs will work on people. What works on people will work on your horse. And you can just learn so much from what these folks have done and what they talk about and how it works so well on the body with regard to health and wellness, regardless of what or who you are working on. So that's Thursday, a full education day. Thursday evening, we go to Churchill Downs for a great time with wagering and dinner and whatever your heart desires at Churchill Downs. We run the MagnaWave Classic that night. This will be the third MagnaWave Classic, the third evening that we go to Churchill Downs. And then Friday is a hands-on day. It's a day to work with small animal veterinarians, large animals, to work with doctors that deal with people, the whole thing. So if you want to get hands-on, to really get into the beautiful health and wellness attributes of this therapy, come join us for Magna Con. Tables are filling up rapidly, so we sure love for you to come join us. And what a great time to come to Louisville. Spend the weekend in Louisville then and take a short vacation with your wife or partner or spouse, whatever, and come to Louisville and see the beautiful sights and learn a lot at Magna Con and make some great friends as you look to endeavor to help your own health and wellness or the health and wellness of your clients. So join us this year, Magna Con. It's June 13th, 14th, and 15th. Right here in Louisville. If you want to know more about it, go to the MagnaWave website, MagnaWavePEMF.com, and it's right there. You can click the Magna Con banner and learn about it, see who the speakers are, who's going to be joining us, and just learn all the information that you want to know and learn from MagnaWave and PEMF this year at Magna Con. So that's some of the stuff I wanted to go over there. Now I'll get into the questions. And again, if you have any questions, just post them right here on the MagnaWave page, or you can go to Twitter and post your questions on Twitter as well. I'm doing this for the first time on Twitter to see if folks have some questions for us. But at any rate, we're glad that you're here, and you can certainly post your questions in the chat box right here. Okay, so first thing I was asked this past week is, let's see here, is it safe to treat a pregnant mare? Now, that would fall into the category of a pregnant mare, a pregnant dog, pregnant person, pregnant woman. And so let's talk about that a little bit. But specifically, let me get into the mare aspect first. Most doctors, any veterinarian would probably tell you that it's contraindicated to do most anything around a pregnant mare. And because we certainly don't want to do anything to move the foal or the fetus and potentially have any issues. So as a rule, we don't treat pregnant animals. Now, there have been times that we've received a call or the doctor has said that this mare is going to founder and we got to do something with its feet and help its feet and help things be healthier and stay healthy. And people have had doctors' permission to do things like that. And so, there's just things. It's always, we always err on the side of total safety, but then common sense comes into play quite often, and you can discuss those things with your doctor when you're dealing with it. Same thing when it comes to small animals or people. You always want to default to your doctor, but if someone's having horrible knee pain and they can't hardly walk and it's really debilitating to their body and damaging their pregnancy, then a doctor may work with you to use this type of therapy as a health and wellness aspect for your client. So that's always something to take a look at and consider when you're dealing with pregnancy specifically. Now, another question, well, I'll come to this question in a moment, but I've been asked a lot, and quite often people want to talk about what is the status of what's going on with the FDA and your products. And so, and here's the situation. We talk about, people say, are you FDA approved? And someone will say, well, someone told me that that you or it's FDA approved for this condition or that condition. Well, what it is, it's the modality. When the FDA approves a device as a medical device for use, they approve a specific device for a specific use if, in fact, they're looking to have FDA approval for a specific use. Now, it is possible to be registered with the FDA, have a 501, a 510K approval for the FDA for general wellness. It's really not designed to treat anything, but it is a wellness product, and you can be used in this fashion as a stimulator or whatever it may be, and it will fall under the FDA guidelines. Most people who go to the FDA go to have their device approved specifically to treat this. And so the doctors can then bill the insurance in using this device to treat this or that, and that's how it plays out. Now, and then the other thing that people do is they'll go in and they'll say, okay, I have this device, and we are going to use a magnetic stimulation process to do this, and they'll call it something. They'll call it what is it? It's TMS, transcranial magnetic stimulation. Well, that's PEMF. And so people will describe it in their basis for their approval according to their methods, so they have the exclusivity for a particular product. With that said, there are many devices, several devices that have been approved over the years by the FDA for specific indications. And I'll give you some of those as we go on now. Again, if you have any questions, just pop them in the chat box here, throw it up on Twitter. We'll take a look to see if there's anything that comes up there. Or, of course, you can call me. It's 502-599-9972. Be sure to mute your speakers if you do that, and we'll have a conversation if you'd like. But back to the FDA. In 1979, PEMF was approved for non-union fractures. These are fractures that people or animals or whatever have experienced that just won't fuse. They just won't go back together. And they just that smallest bit. And PEMF was found to help that happen, help bring those non-union fractures back together. Now, with that said, is it beneficial to general fracture healing? Yes, that's what we've been told. That's what people have experienced, and that's how it's been used to speed the healing time for fractures. But it was approved for non-union fractures. And then there's some ancillary things that go along with that. In 1998, the PEMF was approved for urinary incontinence, and I believe normally specifically for women. Does that mean that it won't work for urinary incontinence in men? No, but it was approved for urinary incontinence in 1998. Also in 1998, it was approved for muscle stimulation being that people who are having some atrophy in their muscles, or they don't have the ability to flex their muscles and make and go, but the muscles need to be stimulated. As we know, this device can be set to physically stimulate and move and flex, in a sense, flex the muscles to keep the good blood flow, the good blood oxygenation, the health of the muscles. I've watched it in horses that are beginning to atrophy from an injury, and if you continue to treat them, the atrophy will stop. And you're not going to get it to reverse if there's dead tissue, but you can certainly help retard and stop an atrophy type of situation. Same is true in people and small animals. So that was in 1998. In 2004, it was approved for cervical fusion patients where they were at risk of non-fusion. Again, they're dealing with the cervix and dealing with the body, and they're having a situation that they've had to have a fusion for whatever the reason, and they're not getting good fusion to come together. So they will use PEMF, approved in this fashion, to help those patients achieve the healing of the area that was worked on in order to have better health and wellness. In 2006, the PEMF was approved for depression and anxiety. That's the TMS unit I was telling you about, transcranial magnetic stimulation, or PEMF. And they use it, and we've learned over the years, since 2002, when I began working with these devices, that the devices provided a good sense of well-being. We'd treat somebody and they'd be relaxed, or they'd come back and say, gosh, I feel so good. I just have a sense of well-being. Well, certainly over the years, people realized, they did studies, they created a device to specifically approach those. It looks like a dental chair. You sit in this device and they've got this coil basically, and they'll move it around the head and put it in specific spots, and then provide what they call TMS, or we call PEMF, and to the area to provide a sense of well-being, deal with depression. Now they got it to where they got very specific. We've learned that if you treat someone's upper body and their shoulders and their head, and they have a sense of well-being, we've had clients and patients that have come to us that have said to be much better with their clinically non-responsive depression type of conditions. And again, because it provides a good sense of well-being. And if someone feels better, they have a tendency not to be depressed. They have a tendency not to have as much anxiety. So it can be very beneficial in those regards. I'll do it. I'll go into my room, get on the lounger, and put a machine on if I've got a stressful day going on, and it just kind of says, oh, take a break. It just charges the body in a fashion to kind of get your batteries in good shape. But if a good charged battery keeps you calm, a battery that's becoming depleted and running down, you kind of get a little stressed. So that's the standpoint of depression. In 2011, it was approved for the treatment of brain cancer. There's a device now that's out. It's called the Optune. It looks like a stocking cap that you wear, and it's got coils all around it, and they have a little thing that they wear, and it's providing a PEMF signal to the brain, to the head, on a continual basis to help reduce the size of tumors. Tumors, we understand, don't like a lot of oxygen. And so if we can have a good oxygenated body, and that blood is going there and it's around those tumors, not only will the tumors reduce in size because of the oxygenation and the inflammation reduction things that can happen with this type of therapy, but we can also better attack the cells that are causing problems. The white blood cells are healthier, the oxygenation in the blood is better, and again, cancer is not happy in well oxygenated states. So that kind of leads us to the health and wellness aspect of what these devices can provide. If you have good, healthy blood cells, good oxygenated blood cells in your body, I always say miracles can happen. And so it's all about, to me, it's all about being preventative and working to maintain your health and wellness instead of trying to catch up afterwards. I know Dr. Dennis in an interview this year was talking about, and he'll be speaking at Magna Con this year. Dr. Dennis was talking in an interview that he did that he's watched this PEMF or this magnetic therapy, Dr. Pollack's the same way, has grown to the point that people are seeing the value of it for health and wellness, what it can do to help the body maintain its wellness. But people quite often come to utilize something like this late in a process instead of at the beginning of a process. And so we always try to, let's stay healthy, let's get ahead of something instead of trying to chase something down at the end of the game, or when it's all of a sudden got a lot of control of us that we can't walk because we've let the knee deteriorate to the point that we have to have it replaced or something has to be done. So prevention or recovery or maintenance is good. We always talk about, one of the things we describe it here at MagnaWave is treat as often as necessary as long as function continues to improve. And then if you reach a plateau, treat as often as necessary to maintain the plateau or to maintain the situation. Sometimes it won't get, you get to a point. My wife with her herniated discs, we treat her now 2 or 3 times every 2 or 3, 8 to 10 weeks, let's say. She'll get 3 months worth of good feeling out of it, or, not 3 months. She'll get 4 to 6 weeks of good situation, and then she needs a couple of treatments to continue it for that period of time. We can't really do anything to change the herniated disc. She goes to the doctor, and the doctor says, "Oh my gosh, look at your x-ray. We got to do something about your back." "Well, my back's fine. My back's not bothering you." "You mean that doesn't bother you?" "No, I'm fine. I treat myself." Then they want to know what she's doing. But if you can keep the inflammation out and keep the problem at bay, then you can get 3 weeks, 4 weeks worth of relief, and then come back, treat a couple of times. Bingo, 3 or 4 more weeks of relief and feeling good. So that's kind of how it worked out there. But the Optune device for brain cancer and what's going on, and as you travel around, there's some videos on our website of how Hope for Cancer and various cancer institutes around the world utilize PEMF on a regular basis in their clinics. Certainly in the United States, there's FDA approvals necessary, and doctors want to deal with it and understand what's going on, and that's all a good thing. We're not trying to espouse anything but health and wellness and feeling better. So those are some things with the FDA that people have asked about and always want to know more about. So again, if you have any questions, please put them up, and I'd be happy to answer them at this point in time. Let me make sure that there's nothing else there. Okay, let's see. I've got another thing here. PEMF approvals. What about CE in Europe and Canada? Well, let me just explain how that works. In the United States, we have the FDA that we have for the Food and Drug Administration for approval of medical devices and so forth. In Europe, they have what is called CE. And in Canada, they have CE or Health Canada. And you have to meet specific requirements, and you have to do things in order to have those approvals in Europe. Now, in Europe, for example, PEMF therapy and magnetic therapy has been much more accepted, much more widely used over the years. And but you still need to have these approvals. Well, and what's happened to us recently is our digital devices. That would be our SIMI, our Maya device. There is another device, a very low power device that is also fits this category that we're going to be bringing to the market very shortly. But for this conversation, the Maya and the SIMI devices have attained CE approval in Europe. We now have the labels. We're beginning to label the products accordingly. So that what that means is that we can export the device to Europe or Canada as a human device. It can be used in their medical clinics for application to humans. And in order to do that in the United States, we had to clear safety approval. We had to basically be approved in a UL type of situation that the device meets all of their safety requirements, and then we can export it and seek their approvals. That requires, for example, in Canada, with Health Canada, you have to have the CE, you have to have Health Canada on your side, and they also come inspect your factory. Where you build, is it an ISO factory? Does it build to medical specifics standards? Is it the right type of facility to manufacture these types of devices? And we've done that with these devices. With our digital devices, the Maya and the SIMI are now We're finishing up our, it may have already happened, it was going to happen here soon, in our factory in California, for the Canadian inspection to finish up that process. But in Europe, we're all CE approved and ready to go from that perspective. That also takes us further down the road. We wanted to complete those processes. The safety inspection is required for anything that's going to also happen with the FDA and the safety clearances, which we've attained. And so now that allows us to then go back to the FDA in the United States, and which we are doing, and resubmit, or not resubmit, we're submitted, but to go through the final processes, complete the final studies, assimilate that information, submit it to the FDA, and then have the FDA approved devices. And so that's where we are with our devices. You'll find that us and our associates are one of the only companies, in fact, as far as I know, the only company and factory, companies or factory in the United States that has safety approval, that works for safety approval. We want you to understand the quality of the products and our desire to be true health and wellness accepted products around the world. And you can know that as customers, you can know that as practitioners. To deliver these types of services to your clients, you'll know that you're dealing with the best companies, and you're working to provide the best in services to your clients. So that's where we are with the CE and the FDA in the United States. Again, any questions, just put them up there. I can just talk and talk and talk, but I don't want to just do that. So that brings me to the other question. I was asked this week in an email, why your unit over similar products that are available? Well, I kind of just covered that a little bit when we talk about safety inspections, quality of presentation. All of the devices that we represent are in some shape or form in the processes for safety testing. We want to do that for all devices, for the people that we sell for and that supply us. They're in various stages of this development and this process, but we are doing that. That's happening with all the products. Now, there are some products that, for example, if you have a product that is a strict veterinary product, doesn't mean that it can't be used by a person, but for their personal use. People can do whatever they desire pretty much for their personal health and wellness, as you have supplementations and you go to the GNC store and there's a lot of stuff there. Again, you want to make sure that all those products are good and that they meet some type of manufacturing standards and so on and so forth. But for the veterinary world, it is not necessary to have CE approvals or to have FDA approvals for use in the veterinary space. So there are devices that we will continue to continue to represent for our manufacturers that are for veterinary space, that do not require the FDA approvals, but they want to be. We want to have good devices for those marketplaces. So but the overall aspect, those devices are built in the same environment with the ISO certifications and the ISO standards that people want and expect for good quality merchandise. So that's one reason why our device is over someone else. The other thing is what is going on right now. I want to come to you. We want to be transparent. We want to give you the information that helps you attain your health and wellness, helps you build your business. And we were embarking on a marketing program basically to take our brand and take the awareness of PEMF to the masses, to where these people can say, gee, I'd like to have a consultation on this. And when they fill out the form for consultation, the practitioner that's closest to that person is notified of what's going on, that this person is looking for a treatment, and they can reach out to that person for a treatment. The person also receives a complete list of the practitioners that are near them. Maybe they live here, but they work in another city, and another practitioner would be better for them over there. They get that list, and they can contact that practitioner. And so this is a program that we are actively pursuing at this point to help people build their businesses. It's easy today to talk about, well, we have this and we'll show you how to build a website, or we'll do this for you. But if you really need, if you need the rubber to meet the road, and that's what we're doing. If you're going to put your trust in us to join us and become a member of the MagnaWave family, we want you to know that we're going to be there to do anything we can do in our power with our brand and education to help you have security in what you're choosing to use, or help you build your business if you want to do that. I don't think you're going to find that with everybody in the space. You can certainly ask and check and see, and then come back and we'll show you what we can do and help you be as best you can be. And in this day and age, another thing that's happening, for example, is blogging is very important. Blogging brings people to your authority. We want to do things to help our practitioners and our customers have the authority and be the trusted member in their community. And we blog, and those blogs go to the websites of our practitioners, which improves their vision or their availability locally in their neighborhoods. And that's what it's all about. If we can help you in your neighborhood, and you can do things to help yourself in your neighborhood, then there can be a good association there. So that's that question answered. As far as, we just like to be transparent. We like to help you, and we like to provide the best products that we can to help you be successful in your needs, whatever it is. Again, your health and wellness, or that of your particular customers or clients. Doesn't look like there's any other questions. Let me check this Twitter thing one more time here, do a little refresh over here and see if there's any questions that have popped up. Nope, don't see anything. So let's see, no other questions over here. Also want to point out one other thing I think that is very beneficial to you as a practitioner, or you as someone looking to come into this, utilizing this type of therapy for your recovery and health and wellness, is you can go to our MagnaWave page, which is where you are now, to see information and see what's going on. But you can't search this page. It just changes hourly or daily, whatever. And so things in the feed you may not see or may get lost. So what we've done is we have a group. It's called the MagnaWave PEMF International Education and Research Group. You can go there on Facebook. Again, it's the MagnaWave PEMF International Research and Education Group. You can go there, join the group, and search for the information you're looking for. So if you want to look for tennis elbow, you can type in tennis elbow in the search area. It's on the upper left-hand column of the page. And any posts that we've had over the years, since 2012, dealing with tennis elbow will come up. So you can see what someone did for their tennis elbow, or for their low back pain, or for the colic in their horse, or for whatever the situation may be. It's totally searchable. Again, we want to put that information out there because if it's good for you, we think that it'll be good for us, and it'll help us help you. And that's one of the things that we want to do. So again, it's the MagnaWave PEMF International Research and Education Group on Facebook. We also have a lot of this same information available to you in the research section of our website, MagnaWavePEMF.com. Head over there, MagnaWavePEMF.com. See the research, see what's going on, and again, learn more about what can be beneficial to you with PEMF. Go to our YouTube channel. Go to MagnaWave YouTube. MagnaWave videos are on there, the webinars are on there, all types of information that'll help you make a good decision about your health and wellness. So, been on for 30 minutes now. I don't see any other questions popping up. I always enjoy having these times together, and I look forward to continuing to help you learn and grow with pulsed electromagnetic field therapy for your health and wellness. So, folks, I really appreciate you being here. I look forward to being back next week. If you have any questions, be sure to pop them in anytime. You can do that. You can send us an email. You can go to the site and put in your questions, whatever it may be, and I will be certainly, or my staff will certainly step up and answer these questions. So thanks for joining me again. Thanks for the likes. Folks, very much enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Wave on. Bye-bye.